I'm Selena Knight, the Retail Biz Strategist, and welcome to today's live episode on 6 things you learned in preschool that will help you sell more. So here's the background to today's episode. I was at the playground with my daughter recently, and while she was on the swings, I was absentmindedly just in the distance watching a group of toddlers play in the nearby sandpit. And I observed this little girl with pigtails just playing with a dump truck in the sand when this boisterous toddler just came over. He thundered over. That's why the word in my head was thundered. And he ripped the dump truck out of her hand and he just started playing with it. Now, the mother came over to placate the little girl, to rescue the dump truck, and all the while she was soothing the tears with the promise of ice cream on the way home. And it got me thinking, so much of what we learned in preschool can actually be translated into business. And quite often we overthink the simplest things. So today I'm going to share with you 6 things you learned in preschool that will help you sell more. Okay, so the first one is being friendly and interacting actually builds trust and security. Okay, so in retail, there is no such thing as build it and they will come. Now, if you're as old as me, you will know what I'm talking about. The only way that you're going to expose your brand to more people is through marketing. Yes, you can do paid advertising, but also just being out there on social media, being friendly with other business owners, and generally just being a nice person goes a really long way. When people know the face behind the brand, when you tell a story that a potential customer can become familiar with, you build a bond. And that bond creates trust and security when it comes to people buying from you. And every marketing textbook will tell you, and in fact, real life tells you, that a person has to feel safe and secure in order to buy from you. Which is why, so many people won't buy off Facebook pages if there's no shop front address, if there's no contact details. I don't know about you, but when it comes to buying, if there is no way to contact the seller, I am out of there. I'm just like, no, this is just in the too hard basket. So the first thing that you learn in preschool that can be translated into business and help you make more sales is just be friendly, interact, be honest, and build that trust and security. Okay, the second thing is people attract people. So have you ever noticed, especially in the playground, when you get there, it's nice and quiet, and you're like, great, kid can play, I read my book, and then all of a sudden you look up and the playground is filled with people. Well, the same thing happens in retail. We used to have a saying in our store, which was, the bus just came in, even if there was no bus stop nearby. The store could have been empty for an hour, and then all of a sudden, a dozen people showed up. Maybe it's the law of attraction. Maybe it's that buzz that comes when people are in your store. Or maybe it's just the movement. But for some reason, people beget people. So always have a reason to be bringing people into your store. Okay, the third thing that you discovered in preschool that will help you sell more is it is all about the packaging. Yep, when a child is handed a new package, they don't know what's inside. They can't read. They rely on the packaging to get them excited about what might just be contained inside, which is why kids' products use really bright colors and they use images. Now, as adults, we are drawn to packaging. So if you manufacture your own products, the one thing you should never skimp on is the packaging. And as a retailer, analyzing a product's packaging, like how well it's going to sit on your shelf, how well it will hang, whether you need to provide your own stand or point of sale displays, all of those things are going to affect the value that stocking that product is going to have on your store's bottom line. Okay, the fourth thing that you learn in preschool that will help you sell more. Music sets the scene. Go to any kindy preschool playground and you'll hear music playing, whether it's the kids themselves or it's just music in the background. Why? Because music affects our mood. Upbeat music will have you bopping along as you're wandering around the shops, and soothing music will help you slow down, allowing you to take time and browse everything in the store. So think about how you want your customers to feel when they come into your store and adjust your music and the volume accordingly. Okay, and the fifth thing that you learnt in preschool to help you sell more, you do not need more items, you just need to curate. Now, at some stage in your life, you've either heard or said the words, "You've got too much stuff." The same thing happens in retail. Old stock, new stock, over-ordering, not paying attention to what's selling and what isn't, all of these add up to having a mound of stock that just doesn't move. So, here's a challenge. Instead of ordering more stock, I want you to have a look at curating what you've already got. What works well together? What products complement others? Department stores are always moving things around. So take a leaf out of their book and curate what you've already got before you buy more stock. And the sixth thing you learned in preschool that will help you sell more, money is irrelevant when it makes you feel good. Okay, so like going right back to the beginning to that story with the mum who was placating her daughter with ice cream, she doesn't care if she has to spend a few dollars to make her kid happy. There's a difference between a need and a want. A want makes us feel good. And in case you haven't worked it out yet, you are selling feelings to your customer, whether it's convenience, luxury, feeling healthy or taking care of ourselves. When your customer buys something from you, it is to make them feel a certain way and to make them look a certain way. I always come back to the surf gear or the Kate Spade bag or the Tiffany & Co bag. If you ever buy something from them, even if you just get the paper bag that it comes in, people will use that bag over and over again because they want to be associated with their brand. They want to feel as if they've indulged. So money is irrelevant if it is going to make you feel good, and this means you can put your prices up. So we can learn a lot from children when we take some time out and actually observe what they're doing, how they behave, how they interact. Children, especially those little ones, don't have the weight of the world on their shoulders. They don't have the responsibilities, they don't have the stresses that constrain us as we get older. And a lot of what we can see when we're observing little ones can be transferred into the business world, and in this case, make you more sales. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode, today's Facebook Live, where we talked about the 6 things that you learned in preschool that can help you make more sales. So if you are listening to this live on Facebook on a Wednesday at 12:30 p.m. Sydney time, feel free to pop your questions and let's chat about this in the chat. Or if you're listening to this a little bit later on the podcast, feel free to click the link and come over and chat in the comments section on the website, or simply join us on Wednesday at 12:30 Sydney time and you can chat about today's episode live. Until next week, be profitable.